Hello and welcome to my back garden for today's episode of Love for AP50s. We're talking about fitting the wheels today. The easiest way to fit the wheels is with the bike upside down. It's far easier. If you've got the engine in, you can't do this realistically. So do the front wheel first. What you do is you put the bike on the stand, put the rear of the swinging arm onto the floor so the front wheels are raised, and that means you can slide the wheel in with the brake plate and this part here. Now first of all you have to fit the mud guards because it's a pain in the butt fitting the mud guards afterwards. Don't worry about adjusting it yet. What I've done is these are re-chromed original guards. I've painted the inside silver because when you have them re-chromed there is very little coverage on there. Then I've used a rust protective oil based lubricant to soak into all the things. That's why there's a little puddle of oil there. And the same with the back. The reason the front's discoloured is because it's already gone into all the little nooks and crannies and washed out any of the previous rust proofing which was under seal on these. Right, on the front wheel you have a brake plate and the front wheel. There are two here, I'll explain that later. Now when you put the brake plate into place, you have to note these little prongs on the speedo drive that go into these two little notches here, or big notches. If you have it so those little prongs are here, you will bend the prongs when you put it into place. The speedo won't work properly. It's highly likely it will jump all over the place, and that'll be that. You then have to assemble it with a cone-shaped rubber seal that goes in here. Then there's a metal spacer that goes in the centre of the seal, and then there's a metal dust cover that goes over the top. You slide the brake plate into that bit sticking out on the front fork and then push the spindle in place. This is a genuine spindle. The pattern ones are for a B model, not for the M model. You may have to find you've got to give it a little tap because there may be a bit of resistance, because everything doesn't always line up 110%. So as long as you haven't got to tap it too hard, you're okay. Just a gentle tap with a piece of wood on the end so you don't mark it, or use a rubber mallet. You then put the nut on. The front, sometimes, not always, has this smaller JIS castellated nut. Sometimes they have a normal metric castellated nut, but there isn't any hard definition of which ones do and which ones don't. I think it was just down to whatever they had in stock at the time. When you've got the front wheel on, you can fit the back wheel. The back wheel on an M model has a cush drive, which is here, this rubber isoblock, and it goes onto a hub carrier. The hub carrier is held in with this hub carrier kit, and the sprocket is held on with this sprocket mounting kit. Now you do find that in here these are normal metric nuts. If you want to be a little bit more aesthetic with how the bike is, you can use proper JIS nuts, which are still available from Suzuki. It mounts through Let's see if we can see it there. The chain adjuster. Now the chain adjuster this size has a larger hole to cope with the part here. And then, once you've mounted that on there, you can fit the wheel by sliding it in this gap. There's a lot of bit on there, onto these. There's then a spacer that goes here. You can then push the spindle through there. This is a spindle. It goes in, oh hang on, no, it goes in from this side. So it goes in from this side, through the chain adjuster. For some reason I haven't got it here. I've got to have it somewhere. So that goes through there, You'll find sometimes there's a little bit of resistance here because whatever material you've painted this with has built up in there, so it's not always that easy. But again, that shouldn't be any biggie. Now this is the brake plate for the wheel this side, for the rear wheel. As you can see, that's where the spacer goes. The spacer's about 1.5 inches long. Then you have this that goes through here. That then mounts on there. This is the torque arm. Mounts onto there and it's held on with this special nut. It's an 8mm nut, but it's 14mm across the flats. That also has a locking nut on there, a locking washer, and an R-clip that goes through this little hole. The other end of the torque arm mounts onto this lug here. First off, you fit a spring, which is this one. I have them available in stainless steel, cheaper than genuine ones. That then mounts through the larger hole. The larger hole does actually fit over that, so it goes, pushes backwards and forwards. It then has the same special nut as the back, and then it will have a special clip. I haven't got a special clip to show you. I thought I did, but I haven't got one at all. That clips onto this little bit here. There's a little groove just in there. Now the first time I saw that groove, I thought that was wear. I welded it up, re-tapped it and drilled it. So I had a split pin in there, but that's not the way. It's a funny little clip. Now I can show you the difference and as to why I've got two of these. One is a B model, one is an M model. If you look at where the dust seal is, they're totally different. That means you have to have the corresponding brake plate to the hub. It's the same at the rear. If you get them the wrong way round, they won't seal properly. As you see, that's on there, just spins. And that's basically the rear wheels. So next is fitting the engine, and hope to hear from you soon. Bye bye.